The first two scales that we're looking at for grade 1 are F major and G major. These are both played fingers only. So we need to avoid doing this and playing every note with the same finger. We need to make sure that we're always alternating, kind of like a pair of legs when you walk. You don't just hop everywhere on one leg. We'll get the best sound if we alternate our index and middle fingers. So G major, we're going to spell the scale first of all. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So it's just the F sharp that we need to worry about. Everything else is a natural note. If I put that onto the guitar, it looks like this. I've got G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and back down again. F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. Here's the whole scale slowly. I'm not going to call out the notes this time, but I am still thinking about them. I'm going to play the scale up to tempo at 48 beats a minute. You'll notice that the first G and the top G are both played as crotchets, while all the other notes are played as quavers. The F major scale is the second scale we're going to look at. Let's spell it. We're going to go F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So just like G major, there's only one accidental this time. It's a flat rather than a sharp, it's that B flat. So what we need to be careful of is in that scale, once we've played that B flat, that we don't then play a normal, natural B. We just go straight from B flat to C. So here's the whole scale played slowly. I'm going to call out the note names. Again, this is fingers only. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G, F. Here's the whole scale slowly. Without me calling out the notes, I'm still thinking about them. And here's the scale up to tempo at 48 beats a minute. Again, the first F and the top F are both crotchets, everything else is played as quavers. The next two scales are both minor harmonic scales, which sound a bit more exotic than the first two major scales that we looked at. These are both going to be played thumb only. So I'm going to have my thumb starting on the A string for the first one. My fingers are actually going to be resting on the B and E strings, just so my hand isn't just floating in mid-air. First minor harmonic scale we're looking at is A minor harmonic. A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. Let's play that. So, starting on the open A string, A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A, G sharp, F, E, D, C, B, A. Here's the whole scale slowly. And here's the scale up to tempo with a metronome. All the notes in this scale are crotchets. The last scale is the E minor harmonic scale. And what we'll notice is that the pattern of the fingers is the same as that A minor harmonic scale that we just looked at, but everything has been shifted down one string. So let's spell that scale. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D sharp, E. If we put that on the guitar, it looks like this. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D sharp, E, D sharp, C, B, A, G, F sharp, E. Here's the whole scale played slowly. And here's the scale up to tempo with a metronome. Again, all the notes are crotchets. As well as the scales for grade 1, we have to learn 2 arpeggios. What's an arpeggio? Well, it's the notes of a chord, which is just a group of notes played at the same time. There's a G major chord. An arpeggio is just the notes of a chord played separately, played one at a time. So, our first arpeggio is G major. We're going to take the G major scale and we're going to play it like we did before, but we're going to give each note in the scale a number from 1 to 8. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, to make an arpeggio, we're going to take note number 1, note number 3, note number 5. We're also going to add in note number 8 from the scale. So, 1 would be a G, B would be our 3, note number 5 is D, and then our final note 8 is going to be that high G. You'll notice that I'm tucking in my little finger underneath my third finger rather than jumping between those last 2 notes with one finger. This means that I have more control over those note lengths. So G, B, D, G. Here's the whole thing without me talking over it. The last arpeggio is E minor. So if we take our E minor harmonic scale that we looked at, note number 1 is going to be E, note number 3 is G, note number 5 is B, and then our 8th note is also an E. Now we're going to play this in a slightly different way to how we played the scale. I'm going to start with the E on the D string at the 2nd fret with my middle finger, and then the next 3 notes are all going to be open strings, which makes it really easy for the left hand, but the right hand requires a little bit more practice. I'm going to give myself a thumbs up and put that thumb on, just rest it on the D string. My 3 fingers are going to stack up 1, 2, 3 on each string above that. So they're curled just underneath the string, ready to play but not actually playing just yet. If I put my left hand in place, just fretting that E on the D string at the 2nd fret, I'm going to flip my thumb out, and then I'm just going to pull up very gently with each finger as if I'm just sort of peeling them off the strings. So, and as they come off the string, they curl back naturally towards the palm of my hand. So on the way up it sounds like this, and on the way down I just reverse that. Here it is one more time. Now the right hand might feel a bit strange to start with. Practice it really, really slowly every day, and within a week it will feel really comfortable. One important thing is to make sure that your thumb sits in front of your fingers on the right hand. Otherwise, you might get them tangled up. Okay? If your thumb sits out in front, it means that you can get all those notes out really easily without any digits colliding. So in summary, here are the 6 scales and arpeggios that you need to learn for grade 1 classical guitar. G major, F major, those 2 are both fingers only. Then we have A minor harmonic, E minor harmonic, the G major arpeggio, and the E minor arpeggio.